It's finally time to finish Varesa, and I wanted to do a bit of a raised mode versus god mode, giving her signature artifact set versus Codex, of course getting these two constellations, comparing non-sig to sig weapon. I don't know how we're going to do that, honestly, because she was running Widsith, and it's just not really fair to compare with Widsith because it's so RNG and only has a buff 10 out of 30 seconds. According to KQM, Kagura is her second best weapon, which to be totally honest, I don't really get. Like, the stats are good for her, of course, but the passive is mainly elemental skill damage. We get a 12% all element bonus here, which is, you know, fine. But yeah, that just tells me if you want a really strong Varesa, her signature is going to be important, when her second best, in my opinion, isn't that good. Yeah, it's not a big part of her damage. Speaking of though, I do want to raise it past 4 for god mode, but we'll do that in a minute. Yeah, sure. Let's start her off in Kagura. For these comparisons, honestly, I want to run her solo, just so there's no other variables we have to take in mind. Maybe good old Masanori. Since we're just doing solo, he will survive long enough for sure, just for good old nostalgia's sake. I am going to throw Baiju in the team just so we don't have to go back to the statue every time we want to heal. With that, E is a 9140, so I'm pretty sure we had all 3 stacks. Yeah, when everything is 12% here, we have all 3 stacks for sure, so we can confirm that, which is good. I'm seeing very consistently 36.6k from her Apex. So let's go ahead and switch her over to Vivid Notions. Paying closer attention, I mean, her E doesn't do insignificant damage, especially because it's still level 4. I only kept it at 4 because I didn't have the resources. I still think it's the least important, but she might be one of the DPSs where Triple Crown is justifiable, perhaps. Anyway, back in Vivid Notions, let's see how that changes things. We're gonna just try and do everything exactly the same. Just spamming those E's there. And the Apex. Ooh, wow, wait, what the hell is that 103k? That was an extra number. So that's not her weapon though. I don't know, I'm going to ignore that anomaly because I don't think that came from her weapon. Okay, I spent literally an hour trying to figure this out. How could this be? Just an extra 100k from nowhere. The higher than normal 56k from the Apex Burst is easier to explain. I missed Masanori on my normal plunge, so the Apex Burst had Rainbow Crash attached to it. Something that's not usual until C1. So what's up with this? Well, it doesn't really exist. Yep, first time I've seen a phantom number. If we compare his health bar, you'll see this apparent 160k attack does less actual damage than this real 63k attack. Why can't things just be easy, man? I'm also still questioning how that could have happened and if there's still something I'm missing, but oh well. Back to the video. I'm gonna switch back to Kagura and see if I see that again. Why? Why? Even when I try and make it as simple as possible. All right, we got 3 numbers to compare. First, let's look at the strongest E. We got 9140 for Kagura and 7833 for Vivid Notions, or a 16.7% damage increase on the E. The Apex Burst and Fiery Passion Plunge were almost identical, with Vivid Notions giving us 10k more damage in both cases, or an insane 25.6% damage increase for those plunges. So yeah, while she does do more damage than I originally thought, you know, from E, it's still far and away the majority from plunges, so yeah, Vivid Notions is a lot better than apparently her second best. That, I would say, is the main takeaway. Next up, I want to look at artifacts. We are going to be switching her to her signature set. This is going to obviously be a lot harder, as depending on the substats we can get on this other set, it could end up not being as good as Codex. With the pieces we have, unfortunately, we need to go a crit rate circlet instead of crit damage. Though I do want to make clear that Long Night's Oath has a much bigger ceiling than Codex. If, when you farm this dungeon enough, you get enough crit rate without a crit rate circlet and then go crit damage, there's no need to test anything. It's going to blast Codex out of the water. And it's not going to be impossible with her, even with her signature weapon that also has crit damage on it, because she gets crit rate on Ascension. So with no artifacts, we still have 24 crit rate. If you have Xianyun and bring her with Varesa, she gives a little crit rate, depending on if it's single target or AoE. Just to be on the safe side, let's say she only gives 4%, maybe 6%. If she's C1, you have 2 skill casts and you do it twice. And since I pretty much always plan to have Xianyun with Varesa, you know, that plunge buff is insane, we can say our base crit rate is like 30. Getting an average of 10% crit rate on every single piece brings our total up to around 80, which I would be okay with. Unfortunately, the couple of pieces that were good enough to raise don't even have crit rate on them, period. So of course, there's a pretty massive caveat going into this. With Codex and Xianyun, we had basically 100% crit rate. I don't think it's even possible to match that currently with the absolute garbage we're working with. Ooh, okay, wait, this plume, kabomb, yes, 3 rolls into death. That's exactly what I wanted, man. Oh, this one? Attack, okay, also promise. Let's 1 roll into def, 2 into attack, 1 into crit rate. It's a lot of attack, I guess. Oh, I just recently got this flower. Double crit, 4 sub start. I'm gonna one-shot it and just pray for the best. 4. I don't even know what to say. Here's another one with potential at least. Oh, no death? It's not giving me any crit rate though. I think the Sans is actually fine. It has just 35 crit damage on it. We don't have a single electro damage goblet though, even though I think attack is gonna be fine with this set because it gives 100% damage bonus essentially, which is already over 2 goblets worth of damage bonus. It shouldn't be our off piece actually. I'm just going to max it. This will be a probably throwaway piece later, but yep, 1 roll into attack. Cool, I'm glad we're getting so many elements mastery rolls for her though. Let's say we give her this. How much crit rate are we currently sitting at? We have 5 piece, so please be over 50. 67, okay, that's actually better than I thought. Whew, 10, 20? I think we're gonna grab that. Sorry, Hutao. What are we looking at? 72 to 171. I mean, the ratio is like not that bad, I guess. Obviously, going to a crit 8 circlet, we lost a lot of crit damage. We gained a bit of energy recharge though, and quite a lot of attack, though of course we did lose the electro damage bonus. Well, okay, I just want to see what happens to the damage. Like, this is her signature set. We know it's objectively better than Codex if you farmed it a lot and have good pieces. I don't, but I still want to see if it's currently better. With Codex, we're basically guaranteed to crit, so I do want to take that into consideration. This comparison will mostly just be for my sake, my account, and the pieces I have to decide if I'm ready to go to her signature set or not, or if I need to go back and farm, which I plan to do anyway, but just for the sake of the God mode, if it makes sense to go there now. Wait, what the hell is that 5? That's the artifact stacks. Okay, that's pretty cool. Well, we have 5 now at Apex. That was a 63? Okay, that is a big jump. All right, here we go. 63.5. I want to see that non-critical now, though. I think that'll be important in determining if we're ready to switch over yet. I'm not exaggerating. We're just not criticaling. And I need to see the non-critical. It's kind of relevant. Beep. Oh, there it was, finally, 18.7. To make it easy with Xianyun, let's say we have 80% crit rate versus Codex's 100, even though it's not actually 100, it's a little bit less. So we are getting 46.1k plunges, times that by 5, and this is what we're doing with 5 Apex plunges. With the new set, we're doing 63.5k, but instead we're going to times this by 4, and we already have more damage than Codex, but then we just add the 18.7k non-crit, 27.2 versus the 230. It is definitely a damage increase. So my hillbilly ass math says 8.4k extra damage on average per plunge from this set in my current situation. So I'm quite surprised, even with like very mediocre pieces, it makes sense already to go to her signature set. I don't think it'll be a massive damage increase until we get such good pieces we can go crit damage circlet. That's when it's really gonna pop off. It's even more surprising because criticaling with Varesa is extremely important. Her weapon only gives plunging crit damage. The passive does literally nothing except the 28% attack if she doesn't critical, which is why we're doing literally 3 times less damage without a critical, and still, this set is technically better. It's crazy. I did want to raise her skills a bit. Unfortunately, we were running very low on fangs. I was farming them yesterday. It was super annoying. And then they sent me to the stupid sharks in the water and I couldn't get them and then I gave up. But yeah, we should be able to at least get normal and burst up to 9. And then we'll use everything else for skill, I guess. Cause you know, it's not a super insignificant amount of damage. But yeah, for now, that's where I'm going to leave it. I think it's fine. 969. Yeah, just for fun. We will see what that did. 67.5? Yeah, it's all right. 4k extra damage on the Apex plunge there. Little over 6%. Yeah, I mean, for one skill level, that's not bad at all, actually. Okay, last thing to compare, constellations, of course. I don't think her C1 is going to increase the damage her individual attacks are doing, but she will do a lot more damage in general. I might be misunderstanding something, so I'm going to get a bit of footage here. But all right, we got her C1s. We're gonna go ahead and do the Apex burst now. Wait, that did get stronger. Oh, does that mean the rainbow stuff is applied before the Apex burst hits? Because that was definitely stronger. Well, I'm glad I tested it then. So it happens as soon as you start the Apex plunge, and then by the time it lands, it's already active. So it does actually increase the number. That's a pretty big buff to our Apex, 24.7% damage increase. It also gets a nice buff. Her C1 also reduces the Night Soul point and Phlogiston consumption of her, like, you know, fast moving mode. The difference is actually quite impressive outside of Natlin. And while I usually wouldn't even test it in Natlan because it's just one place, I thought for this one I will. And yeah, it actually doesn't make that big of a difference. Yes, she does go further, but she really eats through the Phlogiston pretty quick regardless. So she really doesn't end up going that much further. C2 though, I'm much more confident in saying it won't actually increase the numbers because she just goes into Apex after every plunge, meaning you can potentially do more Apex bursts. So let's go ahead and grab C2. Don't think there's anything else we need to check with C1. Damn, we are getting energy so fast though. That's crazy. I was just gonna do a Mastery run getting energy so that we can start at full, but that is crazy how fast that went up. But all right, let's see how many Apex bursts we can do in a row now. So we're just gonna do an Apex burst after every plunge here. 2, let's do it again. 3, let's do it again. 4, oh wow. 5, oh. Can we actually just do it infinitely? Let's see. That was the 85. 85. See? 85? Okay, no, they're all the Fiery Passion or the 180 from Rainbow Crash, which I guess does make sense since there's not a cooldown on her passive triggering. It just, you know, at C1, every time she does the Apex Burst. C2 is crazy. You can literally just spam Apex Bursts. I mean, yeah, the individual number didn't go up, but she's doing a lot more actual DPS now, which is way more important. Oh wait, well, we ran out of E charges, so we had to stop there for a second. Realistically, you know, when she's not solo, that wouldn't be a problem because we'd swap off to get buffs and everything again. But I guess now's the time to actually start the showcase, you know, get a whole team in there. We do have an interesting event going on right now with like 9999 health bars. This is kind of the team I currently have envisioned for her. Varesa, Zilonin, Xianyun, and Yeonsan. The only one I'm not super sure about right now is Zilonin, halfway because Yeonsan already has Cinder City. If I really like the team, then maybe I would give Yeonsan Oblige at one point, but we'll think about that later. I did want to try the Unlimited Fighting Championship. I'm not sure which one would be like the easiest to test on, maybe just like a good old Jadeplume. So yeah, we are going second half here. For first half, we got to go Freeze Team apparently to raise the bar. Okay, I mean, the damage is obviously going to be massively inflated here. If we get the third one, 1200% of the character's attack. But yeah, I also just want to see how the team works, so. Oh wait, they start with 0 energy? That's so annoying. Nope. Actually quite far away there. Actually dealing damage and killing them doesn't matter at all. Okay, yeah, we're gonna max it out easily this time. Maybe different stages have different stuff going on, but yeah, pretty funny. Okay, here we go. Unfortunately, actually we're gonna start with an E here to get some energy and then go ahead and continue on the rotation. That was probably a big mistake. Oh man, yeah, we can't really do anything. That's super annoying. We can do her burst, I guess. We are definitely missing some buffs though, but was that an 800k? 200 bars from like 2 Apex Burst? Yeah, I'm really screwing up everything now, but let's just keep trying here. Yeah, the criticals, we're just gonna be spamming for a bit here. Dude, that's crazy. All right, let's get the buffs back. We never even got Xianyun's, actually, is she gonna be even good here now that I think about it? I guess we'll see. See what that changed. Boom. Not actually. We're still doing, like, I mean, yeah, it's more, but my only real goal is to get that 900. And yeah, there we go. Highest medal achieved. I know someone's already done the all bars, which is insane. But I'm happy with this, honestly. And yeah, we can do Apex Bursts as long as we have skill usages. That's the bottleneck, not energy. That's, I really wasn't expecting that. Let's wrap it up with a normal. We couldn't. 1,826 bars? I think that's pretty good. I mean, it's not all of them. Twice as much as we needed for the highest medal. So, you know, pretty good, pretty good. I also don't have a team full of C6R5s like some people. So, you know, I will take that for sure. I quite like that event. Are we gonna just try and full platinum it? Is that gonna be the showcase? Abyss unfortunately still hasn't reset. We could do it. Gonna get 20% burst damage here. Let's see how this goes. We're just going to do that little normal attack to get the Cinder City going. All right, here, I think we're ready to go now. Boom, boom. Okay, that was one shot, I believe. Nice. Let's try and keep that going here. Boom. Boom. Like, I would have already been out of Benny Rings, so I'm quite happy about Yeonsan right now. Okay, that was pretty damn good. I definitely saw some like 400k plunges, which is weird because I kind of thought 1200% attack attached to plunges would have done more than double the damage, but I guess we also have buffs here. Gonna get energy recharge on chamber 2. Haven't fought enough of him yet. Don't disappear. Ah, he disappeared, but at least we do have Electro now, so I'm just gonna keep spamming attacks, honestly. All right, there he goes, he's down. Boom, boom. I think we do have, well, we did have all buffs, but he was invisible for a second there, so I don't know anymore. I wanna save bursts. Okay, well, except for hers, apparently. I mean, Eon-san gets so much energy, I think we'll be fine. So I'm just gonna try and kill him now. And we'll just get 20% attack here, because I don't think they'll be under 50% HP. All right, final chamber. Oh, right, we got this thing. Well, we have Zeal in, I guess. That's pretty good. But all right, let's see here. What are we doing? Definitely less, yeah, because he has a lot of res. Oh wait, does the Apex Burst not hit? I think it does, but he's floating around a lot. It's quite annoying. Wait, let's try that thing. Where was the thing? Was it here? Never mind. Let's just, oh wait, we couldn't disable him. He should be spawning the pillars again, but he's like almost dead, so that would just be annoying. But sure. Unfortunately, he's just going to die before Varesa can get a single plunge. Yeah, Jadeplume was probably the best one to use Varesa on. I honestly didn't even realize the plunging bonus would be there. Yeah, like this guy, you need to bring Vaporize or Melt. I mean, that's where all the bonuses are, so it doesn't really make sense. Burning Overloaded Bergen. I think Kanich would be actually good here on the Lava Dragon. If I understand the Aeon Blight one correctly, this would be like for Chaska, because apparently you can get a big attack boost for each element. Yeah, she is the trial character. The final one could be fine. It's basically just Natlan character buffs. Really, and then first half, we have to trigger Nightsoul bursts. We're just gonna make sure we're always attacking so that there's no, you know, time in between Nightsoul bursts. I think it will be enough actually. Just having any 3 Natlan characters and just, you know, attacking consistently. Or maybe not. Oh yeah, there it goes. All right, here we go with Varesa. I did her E, whoops. Let's get up here with, oh yeah, he also has a lot of res now, but that hopefully should be gone now once we get rid of that. And do that, hopefully. Oh God. Yeah, I have no idea. Oh yeah. We are also doing 800k here, but only really while he's disabled. So I think we got like 1 or 2 plunges off in that time. We should be able to get the 900 for the platinum at least. Go, hurry! We couldn't get all the buffs. I have no idea what to do with Zealonin because I use her to climb the stuff and then I can't get Cinder City again. So I'm sure we could probably get like 1300 maybe, but 1100 still pretty good, especially for first try. And yeah, of course, just to wrap it up, good old Dorito boss. We did so many runs on him. We saw so many numbers. So this would be the best person to compare raised mode versus god mode, I suppose. Go ahead and get the Electro on them. Boom, boom. There we go. Do one little plunge. Get that 4% crit rate or whatever. Get Eon-san in there. Boom, boom. And here we go. Kabonk, 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 kabonk. 329 was that last Apex to kill him. That's a lot higher than it was. But all right, I suppose that is where I'm going to leave it for now. I really do like Varesa. I think she's a fun character. She is very strong now. I'm not smart enough to say where she slots into the meta, if at all. I don't really care. She's definitely strong enough for anything I need to do in the game, which is Abyss, Imaginarium Theater, you know, farming stuff. I don't know, man. I was also using her at C0R1 in Codex, and she was also performing perfectly fine. She just does bigger numbers and kills things faster now, which is cool. I like that as well. But yeah, let me know what you think about her or the video in the comments down below. Dropping a like or subscribing to the channel if you enjoyed is always greatly appreciated as well. Thanks, as always, for watching, and until next time.